snacks.
What it do, snackers and snackettes? It's your boy Gage. That's Jokes.
Yo.
That's Sin.
What's happening?
This is Loading Snacks Weekly, where we get together once a week and talk about things that are happening in pop culture.
We do.
And today, Martin versus Marvel.
Yeah.
There are some things to be said. And here's the thing. Last week we had a snafu. We got a little bit off the rails.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I mean, we stayed on one subject after we got off the rails, so it's like we just swapped rails.
It was,
Oh yeah. And
just hit the switch.
And put the pedal to the floor.
But we took cutscenes and so we're not gonna spend a whole lot of time on this. We're gonna talk about it.
Cool.
But we have a lot to talk about in cutscenes because we didn't talk about things last week.
Right. We gotta make up for it.
We do have.
We
some
apologize, even though it was a fun conversation.
Nah, I'm not sorry about it.
That conversation we had was really good.
Worth it and on time. So,
Yeah.
for those of you who are unawares, over the past week, Martin Scorsese debuted his new film, The Irishman, to rave reviews. Not unlike what
he does.
What he does.
Yeah. However, in an interview our good friend Mr. Scorsese did, we're not friends, but he made it known that he doesn't believe that Marvel superhero films are cinema. They're not cinema. Before we go any further, what does that mean to you? In the grand scheme of things, what does it mean for a movie that is shown in the cinema to be cinema? What is it? How would you... Sure. What would be the criteria? How would you phrase... What would you say would make a film qualify or not qualify for cinema? I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Another relatively famous director, who currently will remain nameless, was upset and said that they didn't feel that Netflix movies that go straight to Netflix should be considered for like Oscars and stuff like that because they're not movies. They're not shown in the cinema. They're not shown in the movie theaters. And that they really belong, I guess, more in a category like the Emmys, going with TV shows. Because they're not cinema. They are movies, but they're shown on a streaming service. They don't go to the theater, and therefore they should not be considered for Oscars. That would be an example to me of a relatively decent way of saying, here's kind of where I place things.
Certain things at.
And whether you agree with it or not, I think it's understandable. It's an understandable argument.
Okay.
Would you agree with that? That might
that
be
one I think is something. Yeah.
Okay. So, not cinema. What does that mean?
I'm not even sure how you really would find it, because as far as I'm concerned, it's like, if it's a movie, I mean, I feel like a movie should have the opportunity. Maybe I would say certain things just don't have an opportunity to make it to a movie theater, because I know.
But even outside of that, we're not even talking about okay. Scorsese specifically is talking about movies that are in the theater. And calling them not cinema. So if you're talking about movies that are in the theater,
what's the criteria?
What would you say qualify?
He don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Okay.
You can run with that.
Okay, but that's why I'm asking you. I'm asking you, what would you say if you were going to try
if a movie theater is sitting in the movie theaters,
if a movie is being shown in the theater,
it's cinema.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like I feel like if I watch a movie on Netflix, I'm still watching a movie. I'm just not sitting in the theater to do it. I think that is changing.
Sure.
With Hollywood. So now those things have to be looked at. But yes, if I go look at movie times, whatever I see, It is what it is.
If somebody says something, if a reviewer reviews a movie and they say the words, "It's a cinematic masterpiece," could that be said about a movie that isn't shown in the theater?
Yes,
I feel like it should be able to. Yeah.
Okay. So, what do you think qualifies it? Is it a cinematic master? What is cinema?
I look at it.
I was
It's a
should
movie.
we look up the actual definition? See,
I mean, I can.
and see what cinema actually says.
I can. I'm not. I can do
Oh
that.
yeah, we can.
That's
But
easy.
to me, that's just another way
I
of calling
agree.
it a movie.
I mean, I feel
Just
like
another way of calling it a movie.
I feel like cinema should just be, I guess for a definition standpoint, live picture. I guess would be the way as a definition standpoint.
Maybe stuff got to have a specific
movie,
runtime to
like
be
a
considered
a cinema.
Look, I don't know why I'm trying to shoot him some bad.
I feel you. No, I think we're all just trying to understand what the true definition. I mean, we've all seen a lot. I feel like movies.
Seen a lot of them, yes.
So if you're telling me that maybe
I've seen a lot of cinemas.
maybe that's
seen a
what
lot
we
of
need to start
movies.
doing. Maybe we just need to start referring to everything as cinema and not movies.
So, according to the internet,
Okay.
That's never wrong.
ever. This is based on Oxford Dictionary.
Okay, good place to start.
Oxford Dictionary definition of cinema. There are two. A theater where movies are shown for
Okay.
public entertainment. Semicolon. A movie theater.
Right.
Also, the production of movies as an art or industry.
That pretty much still qualifies
Yeah. So
everything.
Well, if you don't consider those films art,
maybe he doesn't. Maybe that's
And
what he was
that's-
trying to say.
that's possible.
Maybe that's what he was trying to get across.
Because I see any movie as being art. Because you have people on here portraying whatever said character, person, whatever it is, putting on a performance. And to me, being a musician and playing an instrument, I see as someone doing a performance as art.
Yeah.
I'm with that.
Yeah.
I'm with that 100%. But art is subjective.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm just saying. If you don't consider it art, to say it's not cinema is...
He can easily just say, that's not what I'm into.
Cool.
You know what I mean?
Perfectly fine.
Like, I get it. A lot of people on it. A lot of people love it.
You're
That's
right.
not me. That's not what I go look for when I go to the cinema.
Cool.
However,
But he didn't say that.
that is not what he said.
No,
At
it
all.
was not.
Not even a hint of it.
And if he said that, that would be okay. What he said makes me feel like he has a personal issue
He definitely has a personal
with
issue.
the way that these films have grossed, with the popularity.
Oh, yeah.
With the...
Because now, what's the number one movie in the world?
Well, it's Avengers.
Yeah.
So, I'm actually looking for the quote itself.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, it was something like, it doesn't show the... Now everything I can find is basically about the people responding to it.
To it.
It's like, hey, whatever. I'll find it. But, so... My gut is Martin Scorsese is an old fogey
100%.
who is bitter about the success that films that are about something he doesn't understand or is not into doing well and being successful. And so instead of simply saying I'm not into it, he tries to
He take
low
it-
blow
yeah,
it
and
and
take
take
a shot
it
at it,
down,
yeah.
and take
Take a
it
shot at
down
it,
a
yeah.
notch, right? We've had discussions on this couch.
Yeah, he's not the
about-
first one that's
No,
said stuff.
not at all.
Spielberg said the same thing. This
Yeah.
can't last. It's not going. It's a.
Get ready for the next 10 years,
But
brother.
but when we had those conversations on this very couch about what was working so well with these films, it is about how these films are not just superhero films. Yes, there are people with
They
extraordinary abilities in them.
They grew into being,
but they are
different
comedies.
types, right? Yeah, different types.
They're
political thrillers.
They're political thrillers.
Heist comedies.
Yeah,
and all that type of stuff.
They fit multiple genres. You lump them into superhero film, which technically is not a genre.
Right.
Right. It's just superheroes in it. Yeah.
If Martin Scorsese never read a comic book, and don't get me, artsy fartsy people tend to be artsy fartsy.
True.
They tend to be very into what they're into, and what they're into is the real thing.
Right.
And what you're into is not the real thing. We do it to each other all the time. You watching dubbed?
Oh.
Man, get the fuck out of here. That's not real anime.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we do it to each other all the time, right? But it's a gateway for a lot of people, right? Like, the way that someone becomes introduced to something is usually through a form of the medium that has changed or adapted or whatever so that it speaks to more people.
Mm-hmm.
And that, in turn, tends to bring people in and have them look at other forms of art.
I actually think that's one of the reasons why My Hero Academia is so big. With the success of like that the Marvel movies have gotten throughout the years, then you put out an anime that's superhero based. You know what I mean? And it's great. So like it just pulling more people into that anime community and want to know more and spread out.
And just to piggyback, because when the My Hero movie came out, it actually came out close to the time that Endgame was at. Yeah, or was it Infinity War at the time?
No, it was closer to Infinity War.
Infinity War. Yeah. They were running them simultaneously, like, together in Japan. Like, they were running the whole promotion and all that type of stuff together with it, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I take my kids to the Smithsonian and we go to the National Gallery of Art, National Gallery of Art has two wings. There's an east wing and a west wing. Okay? One wing is all more of what you'd consider traditional art in terms of Da Vinci, Van Gogh, all that stuff is there. Portraiture, things of that nature. The other side is all modern art. We're talking like a canvas with 3 gray stripes.
And that's it, right.
Now there are people who will walk me like, that shit is not art.
Right.
Those are stripes. They on my shirt.
Right.
I've been had that.
I was drawing
you just getting started?
You would pay for that? Why would you pay for that? You understand what I'm saying?
They're paying a lot of money too.
Impressionist art, modern art that just looks like metal twisted in some weird way that just, and people will just go, that's not art. Again, art is subjective.
100%.
However, I'm going to read you the quote.
Please do.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, please do.
So referring to the Marvel movies, I don't see them. I tried, but that's not cinema. Scorsese told Empire. It was with Empire.
Okay.
Honestly, the closest I can think of them, as well made as they are, with actors doing the best they can under the circumstances, is theme parks.
The circumstances.
It isn't the cinema of human beings trying to convey emotional, psychological experiences to another human being.
What?
Now.
Wait, what?
Now. This is what made me mad.
And you've never seen one.
You've never seen one.
You don't know what the hell he's talking about.
He does not know what he's talking about.
Not even a little bit.
He has no idea about the power, the emotion, resonating, the loss of life. He has no idea.
Folks in tears in these theaters for some of these movies.
Straight up.
So these are people that have come to us in the form of a comic book, and they have brought to life to us in a real, not anime, like real portrayals of, you know what I'm saying, that we believe, like Chris Evans, you are Captain America.
You are Captain America.
Like Robert Downey Jr., you are Tony Stark, Iron Man from here on out. Like, y'all did such a great job with it. Like, come on now.
The battle of, if you just take Captain America, just his story, through all the movies, not just his films, but through all the movies, his transition from, weakling who just wants to fight, wants to be in the war, ready to do it, I could do this all day, to I'm willing to make the ultimate sacrifice even at the end. Me and this one big titan from some other planet and his entire minions, I'm going to tighten my bootstraps, we going in.
Mm-hmm. Going in.
Right? That journey of becoming a super powered individual, learning how to be that individual, right?
Out of your time
Do I belong in this? Before that, I'm talking about the first one.
Yeah.
Wanting to be in the fight, but not being in the fight, right? Getting these abilities and them throwing you on stage and just being like,
dance,
sing and dance, boy.
Dance, monkeys.
You know what I mean?
A monologue out here and call it a
day. The emotional loss of losing your best friend and saving everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Then going in the ice and waking up 70 years later as a fish out of water. You know what I mean? With all this strange stuff happening, trying to orient yourself. The woman you love is like 70.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Everybody else is dead. You know what I mean? Like, the emotional roller coaster exists. These are things that we have had discussion on this couch that are truly Oscar-worthy performances.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna happen. Because of dudes like him.
Yep. They're the ones behind the scenes.
Just like we had all that Oscar buzz with Logan. Amazing performance. Amazing.
Did you see the black and white version?
I never
heard
watched
that. I haven't
it.
seen that one. I can get down with that one.
Bruh.
It would fit so well with it.
I'm just like, you won't even give it a shot.
I know, right? So that's something.
You say I tried.
I'm eager.
No, you didn't.
I'm eager if he tried what he actually tried to watch.
Right.
Like, if you tried to watch something, like, I don't want to see
Like
you say
Ant-Man? Great emotional.
it is.
Ant-Man is.
But for somebody like him, I wouldn't say for him.
I feel like he went in and
What
probably
is
tried to
funny?
watch Age of Ultron or something like that
But
before.
here's what's crazy. I'm not saying Scorsese doesn't have a long list of great films.
Absolutely.
But let's be real. You make gangster films and that's it. You make films about how bad guys are really human individuals. Human people that actually have emotions and care about things. And that's what you do. You make gangster films about people who kill people and shoot people for no good reason at all. That's what you're highlighting and you're pushing forward. That's what you're doing.
Very bloody too.
That's who you are.
Very bloody
Right?
too.
That's cinema.
Okay.
I'm gonna have this dude shoot this dude in the face. It's gonna be great. And I'm gonna shoot it from this angle. And you're gonna love it.
I'm gonna tell you what else
Right?
is great. Watching Cap catch that hammer.
You understand? Watching them pick it up.
Yes.
Pick that hammer up. They turned that camera and they had to make
That's
an
emotional. That's an emotional
That was
moment.
emotional.
Can you consider it art if you can't make it without having to have an R rating? Did the Passion of Christ have to be an R-rated film in order for you to make it and make it cinematic? What is your art, sir? Who are you? Who are you talking to? And what do you actually know?
Nothing. Because he's not seeing any one of them.
Nope.
So his point is completely invalid.
It is, but it counts.
Because
it's
who he
him.
is.
Because it's him. That's why.
Absolutely.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
And like you said during WHW, like it's dangerous.
It's negligent.
Yeah.
Yes, very.
It's irresponsible.
And I'm glad that the community and the directors came at him for it.
Yeah.
I'm glad
There's
everybody
people who jive like they soften. You know what I mean? But for real, yeah, no.
Like, he needs to-
again, say it's not your thing.
That's
Exactly.
it.
Just like I said,
it's
yeah.
cool.
But don't
bash it. Don't say that, and you haven't even taken the time.
doing the best they can do under the circumstance.
Man, under
What,
the
besides having like the
circumstances,
#1 films like ever, like look at all what the top biggest movies of all time have been.
they're all under the bracket.
Period.
Come on now.
And listen, don't get me wrong. There are films that are just straight up. Let's just have some fun.
Of course.
Throw some
Absolutely.
shots, shoot some things and blow some stuff up, whatever. Like, they don't really have any real emotional resonance.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. But if you're lumping the Marvel Cinematic Universe in with, let's say, Tango and Cash, you're making a mistake.
Right. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
You can look at the trailer and go, not for me. I know plenty of people who just look at it and go, I don't really superhero things. I don't know. I'm not into superheroes because I'm not into comic books. Because comic books are a thing that I shouldn't be into because that's for them. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's for children or it's for, just whatever the reasoning is.
Right. And then some
that
people...
is also unwarranted or not founded.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people believe that. And then a lot of people tried and started watching said MCU movies. Mm-hmm. And picked up whether it was closer in the beginning, in the middle, or closer to the end. And absolutely say, you know what? I need to go back and I need to start watching these from the beginning now.
That actually happened with my brother.
Yeah?
He went to go see Endgame.
For real?
Never seen the others.
Oh,
no, but he took his girl and the kids with. And he texted me this day like, hey, that joint was fire. Like, I didn't know what was going on. But then he went back and watched Infinity War.
Them. Yeah.
Yeah, he went back home and they watched Infinity War.
It's a real thing.
People gave it a chance.
Hey, look, my brother doesn't watch all that stuff. Came out like, hey, I'm sorry, that joint was fire, and I didn't even know what was going on.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah,
it's real because you feel it because it resonates with you emotionally.
Yeah.
Come on, you gotta tell me the beginning of Endgame when Tony got back out of space, he was all hot.
But if you don't know what's going on,
still, like the performance don't
but regardless, at the end, but by the end,
oh yeah,
you knew it was done.
If you're not, like the ability to get emotionally invested in a film. If you've never seen any of the other 22, in that 3-hour period, to get so emotionally invested that at the end of it, you like, oh my word,
yeah,
they can't kill.
Oh yeah, they can.
You know what I mean?
People may not have seen it, but they know the name Iron Man.
Right,
they know they've been hearing about Iron Man for years. Like,
sure.
Wait a minute, y'all just can't kill dude.
Sure,
and they can.
Sure. Like, if you weren't one of those people in the theater when it was absolutely quiet, it was just Cap, and that first joint came in, even if, like, on your left didn't mean nothing to you.
When I heard that.
Because that's an amazing thing. Like, that moment.
Hey, look, dog, I got the goosies.
Me too.
Yeah.
On my back right now. When that happens, and then all the portals start opening, and everybody starts pouring in, and you
got
in your seat, and you like,
I waited 10 plus years for him to finally say, and I finally get in that moment.
I watched Endgame 2 nights ago, and I still get the chills at the end when the music, everything, it adds to that moment.
The ability to have those kind of emotions when, again, something as simple as a Cap on your left.
Yeah, that's look. Everybody had to think like, stop playing with me, Joe. Stop playing with me.
but like, if you didn't see,
yeah, it wouldn't mean nothing to you. But you still see everybody around you. You still around that energy. Seeing everybody like, whoa, why is everybody? What's going on? What does that mean?
And what's happening? Just so happen to be in one. Probably every theater, and everyone just gets excited. You see those few people that are just not understanding.
That connective moment
because I had that moment when Cap picked up that hammer. I was losing it in my seat.
I lost all of it. Lost it.
Folks was like, whoa, what's going on? He picked the hammer up.
He's not supposed to be able to do that, but he just did
He's worthy. Like I said, he's worthy. Folks just looked at me like I'm crazy.
That's the thing. Like, hey, listen, man, Martin, you crazy, man. You crazy. I'm ready to move on. Let's do cut scenes, man. You can cut that in the left. Okay, y'all. Okay. Time for cut scenes.
Cut scenes.
And that is
the best part of the game.
Better believe it. All right. Let's just hit the ground running. No, let's not. Let's back up. Let's back up for a minute. PlayStation 4 7.0 update
Cool.
Hit today as of this recording.
Okay.
You know what that does?
I haven't. Only thing I saw some party stuff being involved, but
party members go from 8 to 16.
Nice.
In a party.
Nice.
It's about time. A little late, but it's about time.
Better late than never.
Sure. Like crossplay. But it also adds full functionality for remote play for Android.
Oh.
Just excuse me for a second.
But your system's not updated, is it?
Apparently with Bluetooth.
Don't worry. It will be.
So listen.
It will be.
That's cool. And here's why that's a big deal. for one, I still don't know what's going on with this whole Sean Layden being gone thing.
I actually think that's part of the reason, whatever's going on behind the scenes, but how we're backing out of E3 and we're not doing this year. Like that, him stepping down has something.
I'm sure.
Yeah, he's gonna show us someplace else, and we just gonna all be like.
Well, I think this is definitely a move. Again, PlayStation is starting to poise themselves to try to battle the things that are coming. So, what is the dude's name? Joe. I can't think of it. He runs Sony Worldwide. Or whatever. Anyway, he basically said that so now that crossplay is out of beta. Did you know crossplay is out of beta?
Yes.
Okay. But Sony did not make an announcement to say that crossplay was out of beta. You would think
that would be a big announcement. You want to just throw out, hey guys.
I don't know. Sony been fighting it, and I'm not surprised they're not the one that put it out there.
It was done in an article in Wired, which is also how they quote unquote ghost announced the next PlayStation. Even though they haven't said it's a PlayStation 5 yet, they did it there. Which again, to me, is a way of kind of trying to do what Xbox did when they went to Digital Foundry to have them do the whole thing with the One X.
Yeah.
But so in an article with Wired, Wired announced it. That is out of beta and is now open to all developers if they want to use it. But also, there was a statement that was made, saying the history shows that usually the console that is ahead in one generation usually ends up not being the console that's ahead in the next generation. And if we're going to do anything to subvert that kind of a thing, we got to get on this technology ball. Like, we need to be on our P's and Q's and kind of make some adjustments. And that's real talk.
Yeah.
So, Sony doing the deal with Microsoft for the Azure cloud thing, important move. The change of PlayStation Now. Drop the price.
Yes.
Cut it in half. $99 a month. You better have.
Yes. Because
you're going to get wrecked. And adding in new games. God of War. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, taking it seriously.
You better do something.
Yeah,
because the people are speaking. You know what I'm saying?
Becoming a problem, and we've been talking. You've seen all the stuff coming on the rise with streaming and
that's right.
Stadia. And
all need to get on.
Everybody's got coming to play this next cycle.
I'm going to tell you one of the things that is probably going to be Sony's biggest issue going into the next generation, considering the way that Microsoft, Stadia, like when you buy into the ecosystem, like you're in the ecosystem. Right? Like PlayStation Now, if you cut your subscription,
you're done. Yeah.
Whatever, right? Like your games are there, so you're in the ecosystem if you want to do another PlayStation or whatever. But they're not, and also adding PC for PlayStation Now. So you can play your games on PC. You can stream them there. So you want to jump in, play God of War, it'll literally just pull your cloud saves and you can jump in and rock.
Okay.
Important. Why? Because Microsoft did that 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Play anywhere. You understand what I'm saying? You've got to become more competitive, not just on a console in your house landscape. You need to be... What have we talked about as far as doing this? You need to go where the people are.
Absolutely.
Put your stuff where people are.
Absolutely.
Where are people? They're on phones.
Right. When you come home, I'll be waiting for you when you get back home. But while you're out, hey,
what do I take with me? I take my laptop, I take my iPad, my phone goes everywhere with me. We want you to be able to play there. That's what it is. How do you compete with what Nintendo does so well in the handheld market? You got to have your stuff able to go wherever you are. You understand what I'm saying? Like, what Nintendo has that's so special in the Switch isn't as special if everybody can do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, let's just be real about it. So, and remote play's been around for a long time.
I used to use it on the PS3 all the time, and the PS4 when I first.
With the PS, with the Vita.
With the Vita. Rest in peace, no Vita.
You almost had to have a Vita to do it. You can do it with a PC. Otherwise, you needed a Vita. So open it up. Let's let other people. You know what I mean? Good move.
Absolutely.
Smart move.
I definitely can't wait to test it out.
Keep that competition. Let's get that competitive.
Get that
let's
back.
Go.
Get that fire back.
That's something they need to be saying something about.
Because here's the thing. The difference between Microsoft exclusives and PlayStation exclusives have almost always been one specific thing. PlayStation exclusives have generally been single player, like just great cinematic, story-driven experiences. Mm-hmm. While Microsoft's biggest and best, exclusive experiences, while there's a story there, Gears of War, Halo.
We talked about this before, yeah.
That multiplayer is a thing. Mm-hmm. And when you have multiplayer, and people keep coming back for it, you keep updating it, you keep adding to it, you add more characters, you add new maps.
That's what you gotta do now,
right?
Keep people in the ecosystem.
Microsoft's already in that ecosystem, and PlayStation doesn't have that. So
no, they don't.
Was slightly concerning to me when they said Last of Us 2 is not going to have any multiplayer. But then when I heard them say, because people loved it.
They did, and people ate and went in when they found out.
Sure. But for them to say, but we know it's a big deal.
It's in the works.
And we're working on something and we have it. Something's going to come.
So it'll be something Last of Us that's strictly multiplayer.
It might not be Last of Us. It could be a completely different IP. They take the same idea. You know what I mean? Like it could be a completely different IP that they just say, you know what?
It's work. Let's just take it out. Let's just run with it and make it something else.
Have it ready for launch of PS5. Let's put out the PS5 with the Ultimate Edition of Last of Us.
And
with the multiplayer.
Let's double dip. Let's get, whatever it is. We know if you have it already, it's backwards compatible. You can add this on or something, right? But people wanting to play, if you look at games like Apex, if you look at Fortnite, if you look at people are playing it on their phones, they're playing it on their Switch, they're playing it on their Xbox, they're playing it on their PlayStation, they're taking it wherever they go. Apex, take it with you. Call of Duty now, right? Mobile, let's take it with you. People want to be able to do that wherever they are, no matter what they have. And when the landscape becomes more even, and crossplay is a real thing, and it doesn't matter whether you have a PlayStation or an Xbox. If you want to play the same game and you want to run together, you can do it because it's open to play.
Yeah.
You no longer have that major reason for somebody to say, well, I want that system because they have this thing, right? So if that mode we talked about, that one tiny little piece of a mode that we talked about for Call of Duty, having a 1-year exclusive, those are the kind of deals that are going to have to happen. Mm-hmm. Especially if this next go-round, if the Xbox is more powerful than the PlayStation, if the price is right, and all the other bargaining chips are there, Game Pass, Live Gold, you know what I mean? Game Pass Premium,
Ultimate,
PC, Ultimate with PC and Xbox Live, and those things are there. Jump in for $1. You know what I mean? Like all of those things are there.
Day one.
And if they beat them, out,
performance-wise,
like if they drop their console first,
it's gonna be a wrap.
Yeah,
I don't know if it'll be a wrap, but it's going to be a massive head tougher competition if you're not ahead of the game. And when you're grabbing indies and getting third parties to say, yeah, I'm down with Game Pass. You know what I mean? Like, you really have to look at the way the landscape is changing. And you got to be prepared to change with it, or you have to be prepared to change it. Microsoft has always been about changing the landscape, right or wrong. You know what I mean? I'm not tripping. Y'all hear that?
No, I keep hearing whatever that is too, and I don't know what that is. Continue.
All right.
It's raining outside.
I know that.
Okay, so that might be what it is.
Okay. If they're not prepared to play along, they might get left behind.
I think they are going to get left behind. Just with everything going on internally with them right now, and that's just based off of not having any information to go off of because they're not saying anything. We're just speculating and guessing, but we're seeing y'all backing out of this, y'all backing out of this, head of Sony stepping down. Like,
We don't even know if he stepped down.
We don't know if he stepped
We don't know
down,
what
if
happened.
he forced out. Like, we'll probably never know that. It's just...
But something is happening behind the scenes. Hopefully they're doing something in a positive direction, like seeing all the stuff we've been talking about.
Right.
And correcting it and fixing it. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, but...
Hopefully, they're making those moves.
Yeah.
I just want you to pardon us for a moment.
Sure.
We need to have a discussion.
Okay.
It doesn't involve you.
Okay. You can hold on to the
Right
timer,
now.
bro. I gotta turn this way. Alright, because I know what this is gonna be.
Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
I was hopeful, but I had no clue what I was about to get into with Breakpoint. I was very hopeful.
I was hopeful.
And I was pleasant.
I was also slightly doubtful. I'm gonna say that.
I'll give it that.
Slightly doubtful. Crack.
As hell. Just
So, here's the deal. This is what happened.
we played it.
They dropped the beta.
Mm-hmm.
They dropped the open beta.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, all right, let's jump in this beta to see what's going on.
Of course, so we can come
It
back.
ain't even
and
that, it ain't even really that big a deal because it's coming out next week anyway.
Yeah.
We're already planning to get it, but let's just see.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of allowed myself to get radio silent because I'm like, I was hearing a line, the whole John Bernthal thing. Cool, whatever. I don't really need no more. We always get Recon. We
Right.
always play Recon.
Recon is one
I
of
was a
our.
little on the.
Yeah, like I was a little bit I was excited, like seeing the trailers and everything. Like, okay, but I'm still thinking of what they did with Wildlands. How I liked what they were trying to do.
They changed it up.
Yeah, but they changed it up too much for it to feel like my Ghost Recon that I grew. That
Because it was mercenaries. It wasn't Ghost Recon.
Yeah, it pretty much was.
It was mercenaries.
Pretty much, yeah. So getting into that beta.
So here's what happened. Have you played any of the Ghost Recon games?
Yeah.
Don't say it like that.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Are you offended?
No, I'm not offended. maybe I came off a little too strong.
A little bit. I mean, Wildlands I get. But I mean prior to that.
So, like Advanced Fighter, all the Warfighter?
Yeah, Graw.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sunday night. You was watching Sunday Night Raw. We were playing Sunday Night Graw.
All day.
It's the real thing. Every Sunday night Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. GRAW. Sunday nights, we play Graw.
Yeah.
We had Sunday Night Graw. It's a real thing.
Yeah. We're right. And it looks like it might be coming back.
8 people or more, we was in there. Not a joke.
Every week. It was
Every
lit.
week, bruh.
Lit.
Not a game. So serious. So serious. Here's the thing. The thing about Ghost Recon is, like most Tom Clancy games, it touches on a certain level of realism.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That just like when you get ready to infiltrate or move on a base, you need to use your drone. You need to find where the people are.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to come up with a plan. You should use tactics. This takes some of the best pieces of the crack that was Division 2, the gear score system, which was not a thing in Ghost Recon before, was not a thing in Wildlands, and it slaps it on to Wildlands. It goes back
Slaps
to
on
a,
Breakpoint.
I'm sorry, yes, on Breakpoint. So now there's this added. I shot a guy and he dropped the thing.
Yeah.
You see that color come down like, oh, he dropped the blue.
Ooh, that's blue.
Ooh, I gotta go get that.
I need that. You know what I mean? And then you start looking at your character like, I got a bunch of greens, I got a couple blues, and then you start going, oh, I'm almost all blue.
Yeah.
Right? And then you start going through the skill tree and start adding points to this thing, adding points to that. And as a team, we are seriously building our builds around our strengths and weaknesses so we can do what we do. Because we do things.
Hey, look. everything about that joint it just feels good. Like the ambiance out there, it's just
like music not being a thing.
Not until they come in. But yes, other than that, it's not a thing. It's just quiet. You just hear the trees and the birds and the rest of the leaves. Just like, okay, take our time. We got some
drone coming, duck.
Ooh, hey, you never see people hit the deck so fast. Hey, big drone, everybody down. You usually just dabs.
And then when one person like, I ain't get down in time. My bad. They coming.
And they be
radar's not working. You just out there, can't do anything. Listen.
You know, one of the most intense moments that we had, it was just me and you, and one of the things, something got popping, but he was like, just lay down, and we lay down. No, I swear I don't know where they came from.
They were everywhere.
It was like 20 miles. They just walking through us, and we just laying there still. They standing right next to us.
They got the flashlights.
Yeah.
We done, and like, cause you know you can go prone, but you can go prone camo, and you can cover yourself with the mud and the dirt.
That's what I was about to say, cause I did that in the beta. Like I came across, like it was like just like 5 or 6 bandits just walking straight towards me. I didn't even realize it was mud, but I just went ahead and went prone, and my dude just.
Yep.
Bruh.
Just lay still. Don't move.
Bruh, listen to me. They were everywhere.
It
was so intense. I was like, listen, I'm aiming at this bitch.
Just
if it goes down, because I'm gonna keep it real. You're not necessarily getting up in time. With that many dudes around you,
no,
you're not necessarily getting up in time to get away. No. You're not, whatever.
You don't have to put that work. Like, you're gonna have to go down with a fight right now.
But it's also like, okay, like as we're working on our builds, like right now I'm going down a specific path. Right? So it's a Panther path, which basically means I have certain abilities that are only assigned to that class. Right? So I have a spray. Sounds weird. I have a spray I can use. It's like he got like a can of Axe.
Okay, yeah.
Right? I can pull the joint out, spray. If it's a drone coming, I don't have to duck.
Because I
can spray it and they can't see me. That's cool. Usually I just duck. We're not even like I'm gonna just duck.
You never have
it. Yeah, just in case I switch and I don't have it.
You don't have to spray.
I don't have to spray.
I don't have no spray. Or like it happens and I like, cause it's in like a wheel and I'm like on a different thing.
Right.
Last thing I need is to accidentally throw a grenade or something instead of spray or whatever. Right.
Oh no.
Right. But because a lot of times you're in stealth mode. You're down, you're sneaking. You got your eyes on a couple dudes. You like, all right, listen, we're going to line up the shot.
Straight up.
I'm going to take out A. You take out B. Hey, Queen, you got C? Yeah, I got it. All right, bet. You sure? Because it don't look like you got it. It don't look like you got it. I'm good. All right. On 3. Drone, hold on. Right, you got it.
Yeah. Helicopter. Everybody get out.
Everybody, like, you know what I mean?
We had a few of those.
It has those moments where you like, man, and like you're trying not to get caught up. You get focused on trying to accomplish, and like we'll get to a thing that's like, okay, the objective is in the center of this base. There's people everywhere, snipers,
and
whatever.
They be deep,
super deep
in the base.
And so you get the drone out, and you're like, I got a couple heavies. I got a rocket launcher dude here. I got a sniper dude here. I got, you know what I mean? Like, and you're like, should we try to take everybody out? Or should we just try to creep inside and get the objective and get out?
Mm-hmm.
And it's gotten to the point now where we're like good enough that we'll like attempt to do that. And then it's just like, all right, let's do that. And if it pops off,
we do what we gotta do.
Yeah. Let's just do, you know what I mean? Let's get it cracking. But it's also, as you're building your character, so you have levels just within your chosen category.
Oh, yeah.
But you have certain criteria you need to meet to move to the next level of that category. So for instance, for me, it might be, like, one of the things that it does for me is it makes it so that when I'm using a handgun with a silencer or an SMG with a silencer, the silencer doesn't cause me to lose any strength in my shots. Normally, if you put a silencer on,
right,
your hits don't hit as hard.
Right.
So if I'm using handguns or an SMG and I got the silencer on, I don't lose any power, which allows me to get closer because I'm designed for a stealth character. He usually plays a sniper, which is how he's doing a build. I usually get in close. Normally I get in close and I take a shotgun. That's not what this build is. Now there is a build for that. And I am going to also build that build.
Oh yes.
Because I did rock with a shotgun for a minute. And it was tasty. You hear me? It was tasty. But we've gotten to the point now where it's like, all right, what do you need to do to get to your next level? Oh, I got to hit 3 more dudes from at least 150 yards out. 150 meters out. All right, I got 2 out here.
I got one I got to work on now. Headshot for 250.
Yeah. You get out. Work. You get out. I gotta take out 50 dudes from a stealth position. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. So I'll just take one of them out. You line up the shot. When you ready, you let me know. We'll call it, and you know what I mean. And so like now we're working through helping each other get to all of those things. I have ones where like I gotta kill 3 dudes in close quarters combat in like 3 seconds or like 5 seconds. Oh, I do it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it gets done. But he'll be like, he don't even have to say. I'll be like, I see 3. I'm getting ready to go do this. And I'll just start moving, and he'll just go up on a hill somewhere and watch, and just cover me. And if it gets nasty,
I just watch him. I be like, don't turn around, cuz. Yeah. That's all I see in the face be. Finger on the trigger, don't do it, cuz. Because if he ain't about to get himself killed, I will put you down.
But I got these flashbangs. Like, one of my abilities is,
I hate them.
I can throw these flashbangs down, right? And I can get in there and pop them, or I can, see them or whatever. What I didn't realize is that they affect him. So like we were in close, and I was like, "Hey, look, let's just go in here, let's get him." I'm gonna throw it down. I threw it down, and I started knocking bangers out. I'm like, "Why you not doing nothing?" He was like, "I can't see nothing." I didn't know.
I'm just trying to click the button, like, please just hit somebody. I
didn't know. So now we know.
I got my sharpshooter got this cool little sensor grenade joint where I pop one out and it highlights everybody in this area.
Okay.
But you can see them through walls, through outline. But the cool thing about it, it actually marks them all.
Okay.
So we're having trouble like seeing people in houses, like
you have a mark and you can.
Right. We're not like try to fly the drone in there, and the drone will get seen. Like just pop one in. Yeah. But still, I can just pop one in that general direction or whatever, and it'll hit all of them in one shot. Kind of cool. Yeah, but
it's crack. We've been doing side missions.
And the side missions be lengthy.
They be actually,
they be heavy.
Because I know in the beta with the few that you could actually do in there, they were like full on, just straight full on missions.
And the map is freaking massive. Huge.
Oh,
I feel like we've been through swamps, forests.
Yeah, we've done so much,
and barely scratched the map.
We ain't do anything. We ain't done nothing yet.
Still in the very
They got these dailies, these like faction missions that we started trying to do just to kind of move up. Do the little faction joints or whatever, and it's cool. Like we get the XP and get whatever, like, cause I'm trying to open stuff up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm just trying to get these skill credits so I can buy these weapons.
Get these attachments.
It's a thing, man. It's a thing.
It's dope, and it's what I've been looking for Ghost Recon for a while.
And it's got that thing that I feel like a lot of people didn't like about Division. A lot of people's biggest issue with Division was that it looks so real, but it plays like an RPG. So you can shoot a dude in the head 100 times or whatever, and it's like he's not going down till his little bar goes down. It doesn't matter who it is. You shoot somebody in the head with this joint,
done.
It's a wrap. If you hit them right. Like the heavies, they got these helmets on. So like you can hit them in the helmet. You might have to do 2.
Because you got to take the helmet down and then you pop one in the head.
Oh, but it can be done in one shot.
Once I give me a stronger draw, I put them super bullets in my.
It don't even have to be that.
Bam!
It can be done with this. At one point, we were creeping, and I was like, "Listen, I got the stealth. I'll try to go and get the objective." The 2 of them, him and Queen, are watching my back. They posted out, you know what I mean, or whatever. He knows what his job is. So when we get there, I don't have to say. I do sometimes say it, but I don't have to say. Take out the sniper, knock out the rocket dudes or whatever. I also have, this special like drone grenade.
I just finally picked up 2 of them, I believe.
I can mark up to 3 people, right? And basically what he does is like if I aim at him, hit the button to activate it, and basically I'll pull out a little drone. It's a little tiny drone that just flies and it just hovers above their head. And I send another one out. I can send 3 of them out. So usually we get into something like that. I'll send 3 of them out. I find another one. I find a 4th, and I just hold down the bumper, and it'll just kill them. You know, the armored dudes, 1 shot. That's it. Like you do it once, they're done.
And we all can do it. So you can take out.
You can take out 12 people. You can take out 12 people at one time. I'm sure there's an achievement somewhere in there for it that we didn't do it, but you need 4 people to do it. We mostly been playing 3. We did play a little bit 4, or we had 4 people in the game, we weren't necessarily all together,
Right.
which is another thing you can do. You could just go off and do your missions or whatever and be in there together, and if you need each other, you can call each other or go to a bivouac or whatever.
I will say one thing: when the wolves show up, it's time to leave.
It was.
It did.
But now they're showing us some different colors.
It was time to leave, but now,
Get in there.
come through, wolves.
Hey, look. I got fed up one time. I was like, I'm tired of y'all coming after me. Put them dudes, sniper rifle this dudes.
Hey, listen.
Dudes. I'm getting sick of running from y'all,
I
man.
caught a group of 3 walking, snuck up on them, hit them with the flash banging. Whoop, whoop, wah, 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 whoop, whoop, wah,
Hey,
wah,
you
wah, whoop,
be,
whoop.
hey, them pros score the combat kills. They be violent.
I recorded a couple of them. I recorded
Like, you are not getting up.
Oh.
Like, good gosh.
It's so real. It's so real.
No, but it feels so good. Like, and one thing I'm liking is the kind of switch up in how they're doing the story. How it's like it's an actual story.
Sure.
Like, usually Tom Clancy don't really do something like that, so it's different. I'm enjoying it. Of course, I want to see where the story goes, but I'm pulled into it on that side a little bit more. Like, I'm having just a blast playing.
Yeah,
the
for
game,
a co-op game with a story mode, yes. Like, Splinter Cells always have a story.
Right.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that. But, like, this is a better story than, like...
Yeah, like it has cutscenes, that type of stuff, flashbacks, and like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
See how we got here?
It's serious.
Yeah.
All right, so look.
It's tough.
I would like to talk about Shadowkeep. Let me not say I don't care. I kind of don't care. But, we're not going to do that this time. Next week, let's talk about Shadowkeep.
Cool.
Okay?
I'll probably have it by then, and I can, piggyback on.
That'll work.
And you might be back online by then, so.
I should be.
Okay.
What I want to do now is I just want to take a moment to thank our Patreon supporters.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
Want to show a little
Please.
extra love. Thank you so much for supporting us. Right now, if you're watching and you're not a Patreon supporter, you can easily do that by going to patreon.com/.
Simple as
Loaded
that.
Snacks.
Simple as that.
$1, $5, $10, every little bit helps. But to help us grow and keep doing what we're doing, we would greatly appreciate you doing that. You're going to hear it again in a little bit. But I thought I should reiterate that. We have a couple of things that are coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Baltimore Comic-Con.
Yep.
We have a panel, Being Comfortable Being a Geek,
Yep.
on Sunday, October 20th,
2:45
to 3:45. It will be a good time. So definitely check out our page. There's an event listed for that, as well as an event for Extra Life.
Yeah.
We're coming off talking about cutscenes. Extra Life is on November 2nd. You do not have to wait until November 2nd to donate.
Nope.
It is a great cause. We will be streaming for 25 hours from 8 a.m. on the 2nd until 8 a.m. on the 4th, which, again, I know sounds like 24 hours, but it's daylight saving, so there's an extra hour in there.
Yeah.
We're going to run the whole time. And it is for Children's Miracle Network Hospital. So you can watch a stream, you can donate. We're going to be doing some silly things, especially for donations. We get certain amounts of money. People can donate. My man's going to eat a Pocky 2-chip challenge.
2
Yeah, I just threw it up. I just threw it out there. So it is a great cause for Children's Miracle Network Hospitals.
Yes. Looking forward to it.
We're going to have a blast. And again, the easiest thing to do is go to our Facebook page. Just search Loading Snacks on Facebook. And you can find the events there. And we'll have information updated so you can kind of find out what's happening and when and how to participate. With that, we should wrap it up, right?
Wrap it up.
Yeah, get back to this Ghost Recon.
Toodles and loos. What it do, snackers and snackettes? Did you like what you just saw? Would you like to help us grow? Here's what you can do. Shoot over to patreon.com/loading snacks. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on your favorite platform of choice. Appreciate you.